Alright, so in this day and age, if you're someone that's trying to release new content, if you're someone that's trying to release new music, there are plenty of different tools that you should be using. There are plenty of different options, plenty of different platforms that you could use to get noticed. The only real question is, which platforms and tools should I be using? Which ones are best for my career? And today, we're going to talk about it. As always, I got to give a shout out to the sponsors because without them, this ain't even possible. So if you want to learn more about them, be sure to go and check out the links in the description of this video. And as always, man, you already know the deal, man. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's work. Salutes to that. Alright, so I tell you guys all the time, if there's a topic or something you guys want to know, just go into the comment section because I always go through my comments. So I just happened to be going through my comments and I saw a pretty interesting question. And it goes simply like this. Yo, Sarge, bro, I have a question. What's the best platform to release music on? SoundCloud or Deezer? I've been hearing that TikTok also launches a lot of people's music careers these days, but can you tell me which platform is the best in your opinion? Now, I realized through watching this, first of all, thank you for the question. And second of all, I realized that this is really a two-part question. And what I mean by that is there's a difference between digital platforms and obviously social media platforms. So what I'm going to do is, because this will be one long video if I try to go through both, I'm going to break this down. I generally give you guys one video a week, but this week I'm going to give y'all two videos. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the top digital platforms in my opinion. And then in the next video, you guys might get it tomorrow. You might even get it the day after. Just make sure you're subscribed. But I'm going to talk about the social media platforms that you definitely should be using, that music artists definitely need to be on in the next video. So today, let's handle the digital platforms. Let's handle that beast right now. All right, so if we're going to start with the digital platforms, we got to look at our choices. What are our choices when it comes to releasing music on digital platforms? Let's take a look real quick. So we got Pandora, Google Play in here. We got some titles, Spotify, Deezer, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, and Apple Music as well. Now, just looking at this list, you got some strong choices, but I want to talk to you guys about my top three. In my opinion, the top three that you got to make sure that you're on, and I'm going to actually tell you why they're important in this day and age. All right, so starting from number three and going up. Starting from number three is you want to make sure that your music is on Apple Music. I'm bringing up Apple Music first. Now, why? Because if you want to think about school, right? You got your geeks. You got your brainy kids, you got the emo kids at the lunch table, you got your athletes and your jocks, and then you have the popular kids. And in this day and age, Apple products are becoming the popular thing to do. Whether it's getting a MacBook Pro, getting an iPhone, an iPad, whatever it is, it's becoming the trendy thing, and more people are using these products. So if you know that these people are using these products, don't you want to make sure that you have music on platforms that these users are actually using, right? So that's point number one on why I think Apple Music is one of the top platforms that you got to make sure your music's on. The number two reason though, which I think is a bigger reason why you got to make sure your stuff is on Apple Music, is because of the fact that iTunes is shutting down, right? iTunes used to be the money maker, the beast for Apple when it came to music. But now that it's shutting down, Apple Music is completely taking over or replacing what iTunes, the space that iTunes held. So if you know that people generally were using iTunes before and they're just going to move over to Apple Music, don't you want to make sure that your music's on Apple Music? Of course you do, right? And then most importantly, when I think about Apple Music, is the fact that it's not only limited to Apple users. So if you're someone that has an Android, or if your friends and family or your fans have Androids, right? They can still have Apple Music on their phone. So wouldn't it be smart, or wouldn't it behoove you to make sure that your music is on that platform? Yeah, most def. Like, that's not even a question. So that's why I have at number three, I have Apple Music, because of the amount of people that are using it, and because it's so trendy. The trend is only going to go up from Apple Music, especially with the shutting down of iTunes. All right, so if I went to the next platform, my number two is probably going to be SoundCloud. Like, actually, no, like, there's no debate on that. My second one is SoundCloud, and it's because if you're an independent artist, especially if you're a beginner, SoundCloud is the best digital platform for the underground scene. Like there's no debate about that. Like in so many different ways it benefits you. Let's start here, right? It's easy to share your music with people, right? So people aren't paying for a subscription for a Apple Music, a Amazon, a Spotify, or whatever. SoundCloud is free, right? So if you just posted a new song or posted a new EP or whatever it is, you can share that music with your friends, family, coworkers, etc. without having to worry like, are they even going to check it out because they're not paying this subscription to see this? No, SoundCloud makes it easy for you to do that. Also, and one of the reasons why I love SoundCloud, like SoundCloud was one of the very first platforms that I used when I started, is because of the fact that it is perfect for demos and rough drafts. So if I'm working on a new song and I kind of did a rough mix for it, or maybe I did a more professional mix, something that I did on my own, I can upload it to SoundCloud, make it private so no one else can see it but me. And then if I want to listen to it in the car or listen to it on my phone when I'm out and about, I can check out how it sounds when, once I've stepped away from it for an hour or two. You know what I'm saying? Or check this out. What if I wanted my friends and my family members to hear it, but still keep it private? You can still do that. SoundCloud allows you to share private links, like for real, private links. So if I wanted to send you a song that only you could hear, I can send you a link, and that link will work for just you. Now let me back up, because security reasons, right? Well, what if that person shares that private link with someone else that I don't want them to hear my song? Well, then all these people have access to my song. Time out. Pause. All right. You don't know the full story, because the full story is, if that does happen, if I share a link with you and you slip up and you let someone else get the link, you know what I can do? I can reset that link. I can completely reset that link. So if they try to use that old link, it won't work anymore because they don't have the new link. So SoundCloud is so beneficial on so many different ways. If you're a producer and you're uploading beats, you can do it there as well, even though I wouldn't exactly recommend it for a number of reasons, and maybe I'll do another video on that. But if you're a music artist, I definitely recommend you doing it. Musician, singer, rapper, I definitely recommend putting your stuff on SoundCloud for sure. It's the best when it comes to the underground scene, for sure. I've met so many different artists from there that aren't popular and things like that. Like, it's amazing. And for those of you, side note, a professional note, if you're trying to get features from talented artists that aren't gonna like charge you an arm and a leg for a feature, or you might be able to get a free feature out of them, you would probably get it done on SoundCloud because you're meeting other artists that aren't known. So meet other people in those communities and you can probably get some really good features. Like some of the like dopest artists I know, I met through SoundCloud. And like to start, we were just exchanging features. We weren't charging each other for features. Why? Because we're all unknown, right? So be sure to check out SoundCloud. If you ain't on SoundCloud, or you are on SoundCloud, but you're not, getting within those communities and meeting other people, you're just doing it wrong. You're just doing it wrong. And my last one, my number one platform, digital platform that there's no question that you should be on it if you're a music artist, if you're a musician, just a music creative, like in general, is Spotify. Like, I don't understand artists that aren't on Spotify. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, none at all. And I got a couple reasons for saying that. For those of you that are like, yo, why is he saying that? I'm not on Spotify. That doesn't mean I'm not a real musician. I'm not saying that. Just hear me out when I give you the reasons why you got to be on Spotify. Number one reason why you got to be on Spotify is just based off accessibility. Everyone is using Spotify. Like, yes, there are other people that are using their favorite platforms, like Google Play and Amazon and stuff like that. But the majority of people right now, like the popular king right now, is Spotify. There's no question about that. And because of that, when you have your stuff on Spotify, how it helps you, especially as an independent artist, it validates you as a legit artist. It really does. Like, there was a moment in time where if you were on iTunes, your friends and family members were like, oh wow, like, you're a legit artist? Like, cool. Like, yo, my friend, my homie's on iTunes. Yo, hey, my homegirl, she on iTunes. It was a real thing. So when you have your music on Spotify, there is a sense of validation that comes with it. So why would you not have your stuff on Spotify? That's number one. Number two, it's passive income. You get paid for your streams. Do you not want to get paid? Of course you want to get paid. If you're a legit musician, vocalist, rapper, or any person that's living, you want to get paid. I'm just saying, you want to get paid. So just over time, you're going to be getting passive income from the streams on Spotify. So that's a number two reason. I hopefully you're not debating me after those 2 points. You need to be on Spotify. So those two alone for sure. But also, another reason is because Spotify has become the new radio. And I don't think many people have really thought about this, but Spotify has become the new radio, especially with playlists now. People are listening to playlists now. More often than not, when people get into their car, they already know what they're listening to. They already got a playlist that they're popping up and putting the aux cord into their phone and they're pressing play on, hitting shuffle on. Are there some people that are still listening to radio? Yeah. But is that the majority of people right now? No, the climate has changed drastically, right? So if that's the case, you need to make sure that you're on Spotify. You want to make sure that people are putting your music in their playlist. You want to make sure that you are on these playlists that these blogs are posting up or these influencers are posting up to help give you more visibility. You want to be in that Spotify algorithm. You feel me? So that's another reason why you need to be on Spotify. And then the last reason I'm gonna give for why you need to be on Spotify, I did a video on this particular thing, and that's Spotify for Artists. Spotify for Artists is one of the most amazing tools that has ever been created for a music artist. If you have no idea what Spotify for Artists is, or you don't have it, or you're not using it, I don't know what's wrong with you. It tells you your stats for Spotify. It tells you the gender of people looking at your stuff. It tells you the age ranges of people looking at your stuff, and it's also telling you where these fans are coming from. If it's within your country, within your state, all that other stuff. And you can edit your Spotify profile from there. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I got a video. I'm gonna have it show up in one of these corners, and click on it. Be sure to watch that video. If you ain't watched that video, I don't know what's wrong with you. You're not a part of the authentic gang. You feel me? Subscribe. You feel me? But again, those are the reasons that you need to be on Spotify. Like there's no debate here. If you still debating, you don't want it. You ain't about that life. You feel me? All right. So as we're closing this down, I want to bring this up. Just because I mentioned those 3 platforms and reasons why you should be on them, that does not discount the other platforms out there. So if you want to put your music on Pandora, Google Play, YouTube Music, Tidal, things like that, be sure to put your music on as many platforms as possible, because a lot of them have different pros and cons. Like I didn't mention Tidal, but Tidal tends to give you the highest payout when it comes to streams. You see what I mean? So all of them have their pros and their cons. But when I give you my top 3, those were my reasons. And also I'm coming in with the indie artist in mind. And those 3 platforms are going to be the most beneficial to you. And I hope this was really helpful. And again, did y'all rock with this video? Did y'all like this video? Was this video helpful? If so, be sure to hit that like button, then hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified every time I drop a new video. Also, if there's a particular topic you want me to talk about, be sure to go down in the comments and I will add your suggestion to the list. And as always, man, be you, enjoy your life, and live authentic. Salutes to that, and I'll catch y'all later.